Welcome back to the Psychic Next Door. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to tune in, watch our videos, as well as for your overwhelming support for subscribing, liking, and even commenting on my videos. I am truly grateful for you. My goal today and always is to provide you all clarity and peace through these spirit-driven messages. Remember, these are just general readings, not one-to-one, so if it doesn't resonate, just leave it behind. Today, in light of the holiday, Spirit has asked me to provide you all a special reading. This reading is going to be for all signs and will contain 3 separate messages. We have 3 oracle decks before you. Deck 1, Deck 2, and Deck 3. Take a few moments and choose the deck which you feel aligns with you the most. If you resonate with more than one deck, that could mean there are multiple messages waiting for you. If you feel an overall collective energy for this reading, there could be messages within each reading for you. Let's get to it. All right, we're going to go ahead and start with deck number 1. We're going to go ahead and shuffle the cards and see what message Spirit has for you all today. If you guys are partaking in any festivities today, Spirit is asking you to be cautious and careful and enjoy your day. I know that is general. I know that is a very general statement. But that really was coming through strong. So perhaps somebody just needs to hear that up front, okay? All right, let's go ahead. We're going to draw 2 cards from this oracle deck, and then we are going to take some tarot cards for clarification. It looks like we have some cards already popping out. That's card number 1. And I want to make sure you guys can see that. It says open to change, all right? We're going to go ahead and pull the second card. And for those of you working today, I know that many have the day off, but there's an equal amount of you working today on the holiday. We want to thank you for being out there and making things happen, all right? If it weren't for the collective, we couldn't function, right? All right. So the first 2 cards that we have drawn for message number 1 is leave the past behind, okay, and open up to change. So they're highlighting this card for me first, okay? Leave the past behind. The overall energy and vision that I'm receiving is an individual who perhaps is in a relationship, okay? And there's some questioning going on in your head about it, okay? Part of the questioning that you're having is because you're allowing things to creep in, okay? Past experiences from your previous relationships, okay? So there's always that little bit of self-doubt that creeps in because of what you've been through, right? Because of your journey. The other part they're showing me is that there are things happening in this relationship that's causing some questioning, right? So it looks to be a bit of a twofold message. What they're bringing to the forefront here, okay, is that allow yourself the opportunity to take this current relationship for what it is. Remove your past experiences and allow yourself to start fresh. Okay? That's the message for some of you here. The other message for some of you is it looks like there's also another type of relationship where you get together, you break up. You get together, you break up. Or more so in a sense that you kind of, have arguments and fights and you don't talk for a bit and then you come back together and that back and forth. They want you to kind of leave that cycle behind. When a situation arises and there's conflict, okay, and as long as the parties aren't heated at that moment, because it's very difficult to reason with anyone when they're heated, okay? Perhaps it's a situation where you need to go back and revisit. But it's important to go back and revisit what you could be having difficulties with. Are they a pattern? Are you having the same type of arguments and disagreements about the same things? Take some time to revisit this with the person that you're in a relationship with. And this could be a romantic relationship. This could be a friendship. This could even be a work relationship, okay? It's not a healthy pattern that you've been experiencing. And in order to have a new layer come of the relationship, in order to put yourself in a better frame of mind and to stop this repetitive action. And it's not to say that you're not going to disagree, but handling the disagreements and the arguments and the bickering in a different manner will yield a better and positive result. Okay? So it looks like just, some things that some folks here kind of need to look at and work out in order to bring a different layer. And for some, we want to leave those past experiences behind and not bring them into the current relationship. You want to allow the new relationship to be what it's worth. Allow that to develop and to bring its own life. All right? Let's draw some clarifiers. Oh, Knight of Cups. So right off the bat, for that card, I am receiving major romantic vibes, okay? It looks as though some of you may have a new suitor that is coming your way, okay? Or they're also showing me a different individual that you're in a current relationship with that is going to bring new light and energy, kind of spice things up a bit, okay? Turn the table, if you will, on some difficulties that you all have been having, all right? I'm not sure if you guys can quite see it, but in addition to our Knight of Cups, we have drawn the Knight of Wands and also the Ten of Cups. They're showing me also a parent-child relationship that has been going through some struggles. Some perhaps are in their teenage years. They're showing me some kids that are perhaps in middle school. It looks like a bit of a range, middle school to high school kids. There's been some difficulties at home. Some tensions have been flying. And the same concept applies. They want you to take a different approach. They also want me to remind you all that what kids are going through these days, and I'm not sure you're, where you are in life at this point or your age ranges. This is just the general message that's coming through for you all. They want to provide you all a friendly reminder that the world your kids are going through, the world that your kids are in today isn't what we experienced when we were growing up, okay? They have dealt with COVID, shootings, mass shootings, just horrific things that when we were growing up, we didn't really have to deal with any of those things, okay? So their anxiety is high, bullying is very much at a peak, they're showing me. Kids are just really going, kids in general are having a tremendous amount of depression and anxiety. So when there's argument and stress and tension in the house, remember that your kids really perhaps haven't had the opportunity to be kids, and not as much as we did, okay? And I understand that this is a general reading, but they want me to highlight that for some reason, and I want to bring that to the forefront right now. Allow them a little bit of grace and understanding when they're not acting themselves, and perhaps when things cool off, go back and revisit why they're feeling this way. Perhaps there's a situation at school that they haven't shared with you or been privy to what they're going through, and they're just trying to deal with it themselves the best way they know how. Allow that open communication and understanding so they can come to you. Perhaps when there's a moment of peace and tranquility and you're joking and laughing, remind them that they can come to you with anything. All right, and if they are experiencing something fairly serious at school, you want to be there for them. So that literally came out of nowhere, but I wanted to bring that. We are going to circle back, my friends, to the relationship aspect of what's happening here. Spirit wants to go ahead and touch upon that romantic relationship again that we talked about just a moment ago. Some of you may have a suitor coming your way. They are showing me happier times for you, okay? And then they're also outlining the fact that some of you don't have the balance that you need. And this is in terms of relationship they're showing me. Perhaps someone's doing a little more giving and the other one's doing a little more taking. And throughout a relationship, very rarely are things 50-50. You know, there are often times where things, are going on the smoother side, where everyone is pitching in and doing things, but things happen in life. They're showing me that some folks perhaps have experienced the death of a loved one. There's a loved one that's been sick. They're showing me that one of their children hasn't been well. And at those times, things become unbalanced and uneven and tensions kind of flare, okay? And it looks as though that's been the overall energy that's been happening for you all for the last few months. Things have been off balance. They're highlighting the month August for me, okay? It typically means that they want to highlight that for a lot of you, this will be occurring in August. However, that's not the case in this particular message. They want you to know that if this message is meant for you, there is a special birthday, anniversary, or even the death date of a loved one in August that is connected to you directly. Okay? If that's the case, that is a confirmation, validation that this message is for you. Okay? Overall, my friends, they want to share with you that if you make these adjustments, these minor adjustments in the arguments and leaving some of the past behind, you're open up to new ways of communicating and changing. This could be a very different 6 months of the year for you coming up, okay? And Spirit overall has been really highlighting wanting to talk about the first half of the year versus the second half of the year. So, and this is just a little spoiler alert, for my second set of readings for all of you for the month of July, I'm going to do the second half of the year, okay? We're going to focus on that because it keeps popping through the readings, okay? And it's kind of nice to see a snapshot of the fact of all the struggles and things of that nature. It's, tensions have been high. The first 6 months of the year weren't the best for some of you. And it looks like if you make some of the changes, that Spirit is kind of nudging your way, things could be really great for you the second half of the year. Without struggle, no, that's not, that's never the case, but you can certainly minimize some of the things you've been going through, okay, in the repetitive cycle. All right, that is it for reading number 1. I am going to share one thing before I close this message out for you guys. When I was doing my shuffling and meditation earlier for this reading, this card, this motivational insight card from the deck that I pull from you guys at the end of each reading, this card came out. And they were sharing with me, they shared with me that as a collective, some of you have been having that self-doubt creep in, whether it's pertaining to a relationship, job, project that you're working on. And I can completely relate. And they wanted me to share this with all 3 readings. If a cauliflower can somehow become a pizza, then you, my friend, can accomplish anything. Is this not true? Who would have ever thought in a million years we'd have cauliflower pizza, right? And I leave you with that. All right, my friends, we are going to go ahead and dive into reading number 2. I hope you all enjoyed the first one. I, too, enjoy watching Pick a Message readings because even though sometimes I am drawn to a specific deck, I find that there's little nuggets or winks for me in each of the readings. So if you have the opportunity, just take a peek at all the readings that I have for you today. All right, we are going to draw 3 cards. They're wanting me to draw 3 cards for you all from this deck for message number 2. All right. Looks like these cards have a mind of their own. All right, so this is what we have for you all. The first card is the Sun card, which automatically They gave me a flash to a tarot deck with the Sun card as well. So they really want me to highlight that for you all. Open your heart to the enormous growth ahead. Very interesting. I kind of see where this is going. And I'm going to go ahead and just share it with you before we take a look at all the cards. We have Sun, we have Plane, and we have World. They're highlighting a new opportunity that will be presenting itself for you. It doesn't look like for any of you that this opportunity has been revealed just yet, okay? And it may be something that you have in the works. Perhaps you've been applying to jobs, perhaps you've had your eye on something, but nothing has surfaced just yet, okay? They're showing me the number 4. So if this message is for you, okay, the number, and I'm just trying to get the exact meaning of what the 4 means for you all. They're sharing with me that if you all have a birthday or anniversary date on the 4th of a month or the month of April, those are the 2 options. Those are the two confirmations they're providing you. Then this message is for you. Also, it doesn't mean if that's not a validator for you guys that this message isn't for you. That's just one of the confirmations that they want to bring through right now. Okay. So let's move back to this message. You have something pretty incredible coming up for you soon. The second card pulled here is Plane. A journey is indicated either physically or metaphorically. Your life will become more full, without question, especially with... I want to stop and share a bit more about this card for you. This metaphorically and in your life becoming more full. At the moment of reading this card, I felt a renewed energy. Do you know when you turn the page from one time in your life to the next? That's exactly what this card is making me feel, right? So it's sharing with me as well that some of you are going to leave something in your past behind. You've also been contemplating walking away from something that doesn't serve you, but you've kind of been hesitant. It appears that some may be taking that chance and maybe taking that step. Okay? And finally, we have be open to new possibilities in all areas of your life. So these 3 cards are very much in unison with one general message, is that either physically, metaphorically, something is about to shift in your life. For some of you, you are going to have to take steps in order for this to occur. Actually, they showed me 80. And that typically is a percentage. So 80% of you that this message pertains to and that you are watching, you're going to have to take a step, an uncomfortable step, okay, to activate this new energy. Very interesting. Let's draw some clarifiers and see what message, what additional messages they have for you, okay? They are, as I pull the deck, they're highlighting this card again, the Sun card. For some of you, there's a change that you've been wanting to make. It actually appears to be internal. I don't want to say it's a demon you've been hiding, because when I say demon, sometimes people think it's the absolute worst possible thing that could be happening to you internally. So please take this message how it resonates. For some of you, you're just struggling with some sort of an addiction, okay? And you're looking for better times. You're wondering, you're thinking about taking another step, and it's a step you've already taken in the past, and you're wondering, will this work? Will this not work? Spirit is asking that steps in the positive direction are always welcomed in your life, okay? And are always a good thing for you. But if you're choosing, okay, to take the same step in your life, okay, and I'm going to give you an example. It looks to be a little bit of a cycle, okay? You go, and I think everybody goes through ups and downs. I don't think, there isn't anyone that does something 100% of the time their entire lives. Does that make sense? Okay? So it's kind of like the individual who wants to start a diet again. Okay, that's what they're showing me in front of me. They're showing me an individual who's looking in the refrigerator, who's looking in their pantry, and they're about to take a bag and just dump all the goodies. And when I say goodies, I mean the goodies. The food that doesn't make them feel so great, okay? And it looks like this is a process that they've done before, you know? You get in those modes where you just want to feel good, you want to live a healthy and clean life, and you just dump everything that no longer serves you, because having it at home obviously is perhaps a trigger for you, right? And it looks like this process happens maybe a couple times a year, every now and again, right? With this process, and they're not telling you to do it or not do it. That's not how Spirit rolls. Their goal, Spirit's goal, is to bring a situation to the forefront of your mind and allow yourself to be open to doing things just a little bit differently. And I think that's the case here. So we'll continue with this example because I think, you know, many of you can certainly relate to it. All right. So we're going to go ahead and continue with this example. Perhaps you do this a couple times a year, as I mentioned, right? And you're great for a couple of weeks, you're great for a couple of months, but then you kind of teeter. Perhaps something happens in your life and it takes you to food, right? It takes you to that comfort food. Spirit is asking you to look at this situation just a little bit different. Clean out of the not so great foods is often very helpful, right? Perhaps take a look at when you hit those moments where you no longer want to eat healthy. Okay, you want to reach out for something, okay, that's less favorable for your health. What has happened in that moment to cause that situation? Did you have a fight with a loved one? Did stress pick up at work? Did self-doubt creep in about a particular subject? And then work on handling these situations in a different fashion, okay? Try to find a different way to manage that stress of that situation. And that can go for any example. That's just the example that they brought forth. So at this point in your life, they're showing me, and again, they really want to highlight the first part of this year. So as I mentioned in reading number 1, I'm going to do the next 6 months reading for July instead of a bonus reading, because it's just, Spirit really has a lot to say about this year, and I want to make sure we bring all that information forward for you. You are really wanting better times for yourself, right? You're looking out this window, and it's a great depiction of how you're feeling internally, many of you. You're wishing for better days. Perhaps you're wishing that the routine and the things that you're currently dealing with are just day to day, and you're just tired of it. Some of you have been through some tremendous heartbreak. They're showing me a death of some perhaps family and friends that have occurred in the recent past. Perhaps a relationship that's really, they're sharing the words tormented you internally. So it looks like perhaps things just didn't go well there. Some, emotional abuse could have occurred, just really ugly things for you, right? And in order to get to this, my friends, the sun, the plane, the world, this next chapter, that they're letting you know this is coming. They're letting you know that this, okay, is available for you, which is awesome, because oftentimes it's good to know what could be around the corner if we made some changes. And the fact is, the death card in this situation, it's actually twofold, okay? And for the majority of you, the death card represents a new you that's going to emerge with the small changes that you're going to be making in your life. For some of you, the death card, a loved one of some sort has passed in the recent months, and it's just been a very trying time for some of you, okay? Through the summer months, okay, is what they're sharing with me here. You're going to have some moments of clarity, and you're going to allow yourself some time of contemplation, all right? Some of you are literally going to get on a plane and take a vacation. Some of you may be taking a staycation. Some of you, they just shared with me that you're going to be calling in sick, okay, to work, because you're just emotionally and physically, you're just not well, and you're needing a couple days, right? You're looking, you know that there's better times ahead. Spirit has confirmed that that's the case for you. Now is the uncomfortable and the difficult part that comes during this transition, all right? For some of you, you don't know where to start, is what they're sharing. And they want you to find nuggets, just small nuggets. Do one or two things, they're showing me, to give yourself some self-love, okay? Provide yourself, do something that makes you happy. I think you kind of have, perhaps in all the chaos that you've been going through, you kind of forgot how to do that, right? These are the summer months that the transition occurs if you want it to. Take some time to contemplate and meditate, to allow yourself the opportunity to bring forward why you're feeling the way you're feeling and what you can do about it, what options you have, okay? This is very much in relation to future energy. Once you flip the switch, once you make those changes, okay, once this energy and this world opens up for you, you're going to feel a renewed sense of love, and you're going to have more of an appreciation for the things around you. You're going to start a project. You're going to start a new journey. They're showing me an individual who is actually thinking about starting their own business. And no, it's not too late. That's what popped in my head. Some feel perhaps at the age that you're in, it might be a little too late. It's never too late. It is only too late when we are no longer here, okay? I've seen some beautiful stories, and they're bringing those to the forefront online on social media, where folks are starting businesses. Folks are literally flipping the page in their lives at age 40, 50, 60, and 70, okay? It just doesn't matter. If you're still here, you have the opportunity to do it, okay? Work through those uncomfortable feelings and stages so you can get to the other side, okay? The last thing they want you to feel is when we're at a stage in our life and we look back and we say, gosh, I really wanted to try that, but I never did, you know? I wonder if I would have started that business or side hustle or project, okay, if anything would have happened. There's only one way to find out. I leave you with this last message, okay, for reading number 2. When I was shuffling earlier and conducting my meditation, this card popped out. And Spirit advised that this is a collective message for all 3 readings, okay? There's a lot of self-doubt that everybody's experiencing right now. To get to the other side of this, all right, to get to this other part of your life that's waiting for you. And this really put it in perspective, and it gave me a good chuckle, so I wanted to share it with you guys. If cauliflower can somehow become a pizza, then you, my friend, can accomplish anything. Isn't that right? Let's go ahead and dive into our final reading here, my friends. I hope that if you have watched reading number 1 and 2 that you found nuggets and winks from Spirit. Ooh, there's a lot of messages that want to come out, and we are going to set this up for reading number 3. Anyway, I hope if you watched reading number 1 and 2 that there's winks and nuggets of information that pertain to you and that inspire you and that bring validation and confirmation to your life, okay? So it looks as though this is like a trajectory they're showing me, okay? And they want me to leave the cards as is, so we're going to go ahead and do that, and I want to make sure you guys can see them. So the first card we have here is a new start is coming, followed by a time for healing. Then we have this energy is gaining momentum. And finally, a fiery climax approaches. All right, so let's go ahead and start over here, as that's what they're indicating for us to begin with. A new start is coming for you guys. So this is in relation to the transition of the first part of the year for you guys and the second part. And I shared with the first 2 groups that for my readings in July, for the remainder of July, typically I would do like a bonus reading for you all, but Spirit has been really guiding and pushing me to do a 6 months reading, like the second half of the year. There has been so many messages coming out for you guys that show the calendar year split and wanting to talk about both parts of the year. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Anyway, back to this card. A new start is coming, and there is a time for healing. This is very much an indication of what's coming the next 90 to 120 days, okay? You have been yearning for a new start. You have been going through the humdrum momentum, routine. And oftentimes, the summer months, when folks are able to take some vacation time, when they're able to not follow the routine they normally would, perhaps when kids are in school, or perhaps the businesses they work for, the first part of the year is very hectic and it kind of tapers down a bit in the summer months, kind of allows you to breathe a bit, if you will. And for some, it's the complete opposite. The summer picks up and, it's 100 miles an hour, right? But for the collective, you have a new start coming. You have a new leaf that you are turning. And they are showing me an office space. This is in regards, they want to focus on this message right now in regards to what you do for a living. And they want me to mention, if you care for your children at home for a living, perhaps a new start's coming there as well. They wanted me to bring that to the forefront. That doesn't necessarily have to mean a paid job outside of the residence, okay? A new start is coming. They're showing me the words project in bold. They're showing me the words hobby in bold as well, which is kind of nice. It looks like for some of you, that hobby that you've wanted to focus on or enjoy that you haven't been able to in the last few months, you're going to find some time in your schedule in order to do that. And that is very refreshing. That is a very renewed energy that many of you have been yearning for. Even if you've just been wanting to binge watch a show, okay, and you just haven't been able to, there's been no time, you're going to allow yourself that time, okay? And listen, when you guys come down, Spirit is showing me you guys coming down, okay? They're showing me, I'll show you, they're showing me I think it's a thermometer or a temperature gauge of some sort, and you're running at a 9 or 10. Some of you, it's even showing me 11, a 1 out of 10. And you're going to try to bring it down to a 7 or 8, even a 5 or a 6. When you do this, you allow yourself to feel the things you necessarily haven't given yourself time to feel. For some of you, and they're bringing this up, it was started in reading number 2, and now it's kind of transcending into this reading. For some of you, there's been a loss in your life, a relationship loss, death of a loved one. It's showing me for some of you there's been a loss of a job, in fact. And sadly, they're also showing me some of you have experienced the death of a furry loved one, okay? So, and you perhaps during this period of crazy, you haven't had the opportunity to really allow yourself to grieve properly, okay? And in doing that, allowing some time for healing. Okay, so know that this period is coming if you allow it to come. Now, if you keep running out of 10 or 11, this transformation that's coming for you, it won't come as quickly. Okay, we have to take action steps in everything we do in life in order to get that next chapter to come. But they're showing me 90, and it looks like to be in relation to 90%. 90% of you are very much yearning for this. So it looks like, those individuals will be taking those steps in order to get past that. All right. Once this period goes through its calm, you're healing, you're renewed. Okay. It's like you've allowed yourself the opportunity to rest and relax. Okay. Heal from what you've been going through. Okay. And a new energy is going to come about. All right. It's showing me a book, and it's showing me going from one chapter to the next. So it looks as though a new chapter is opening up for you. Okay. A fiery climax approaches. They're wanting me to share with you that this is a twofold message. Number one, it looks as though a very exciting climax in time is coming for you. Like, it's a good thing. Perhaps a job that you've applied for or something you wanted to do is gaining momentum. You're making money at something you're doing, and the side hustle, it's starting to show revenue. Just an overall just beautiful and positive energy. For the other message they're sharing with me is this is kind of being placed over here. Okay? And they're showing me that perhaps you have some loose ends to tie up. They're showing me a vision of the phrase, the straw that breaks the camel's back. Okay? And what that means is you could be in a situation, whether at work or in a relationship or a friendship of some sort. They're showing me a family also dynamic with two people. This person is going to do one last thing and you're going to be done. Okay? It's kind of like things have been building, things have been aggravating, and there's an explosion. There's an explosion. And an explosion meaning perhaps an argument, perhaps some words that are being said that can't be taken back. But this is also going to, for some of you, you're going to be done. You're going to be like, this is it. This is it. I deserve better. I want better. And you're going to move towards that. For some of you, you're going to realize that the things that you've kind of been sweeping under the rug need to be pulled out and dealt with, because this relationship is very important to you, right? And you're going to see that a lot of this is just lack of communication, or you're not stepping into each other's shoes. Perhaps some things that have been said were just very ugly, and all that needs to be dealt with and talked about. Okay? So your energy with this person is renewed. Okay? A new start comes with this person. You're healing from the things that have occurred. You're working on the problems that you have, right? In order to bring about new and fresh energy into this relationship. So understand, folks, that sometimes things that are just so uncomfortable. They're showing me some individuals who do not like conflict. Okay, a group of individuals that they run from conflict. They rather agree and sweep things under the rug, and then this kind of thing happens. A fiery climax approaches because none of the stuff has been dealt with or worked on, and now you have all these issues and situations that need addressing, right? So let's take a look. I'm going to draw a few clarifiers. I feel that for this message, the oracle cards really brought to light, the overall message that they wanted to discuss and bring to the forefront. They're highlighting the month July, which is this month. For some of you, this transition, this new fresh start is going to begin. Okay? They're also showing me an individual right now at a computer. And it looks as though, I don't know if they've opened an email or some sort of communication. and they've just received some good news. Okay, they've been kind of going through a slump for a bit, it looks like, and they've just received some positive and uplifting news, and they're ready to take whatever it is this is on. Perhaps a new position opened up for them at their current employer. Perhaps they've been job hunting and something new and refreshing, something new that you can be a part of has opened up for you. But regardless, I wish you lots of luck. It looks like a really great time for you. All right, so what we have here for clarifiers are the Four of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, and also the Eight of Pentacles. Okay? Okay, thank you, Spirit. Just trying to get clarification as to how they want me to begin with the clarifiers. So they want to highlight the Four of Pentacles for you guys. Okay? Through the chapters that occur within your lifetime, at times, you may lose yourself. You may lose part of who you are. Perhaps your beliefs come into question. Perhaps you start to doubt yourself because of the turmoil in a relationship. They want you to know that the most important thing you can take from chapter to chapter is who you are. I want you to remember something. That innately, you are a good and kind person. And sometimes in relationships with others, in business, with business associates, loved ones, things of that nature, kids, that gets tested, and you kind of lose yourself a little bit, and you kind of forget who you are and what you stand for. They want you to know in this next chapter that's coming for you, that's pretty incredible. Don't forget to take your core belief system with you, because if you're grounded in that, okay, moving forward from chapter to chapter, even though at times you may lose a little bit here and there, that's always going to serve for the best foundation of whatever you're about to begin in your life. The Queen of Wands, they're just showing me this energy of someone who is just ridiculously excited with their life, okay? And I don't feel that you have felt this for some time, right? Perhaps you have a little shine and then it kind of gets dulled with things that have come your way. The Eight of Pentacles in this particular situation is going to show you a time of contemplation. It's that period of time we talked about a little while ago that you're going to look at everything before you. You're going to look at the tweaks you need to make, okay, in order for things to start moving in the right direction. A lot of you, they're showing me, have a ridiculous amount of responsibility and projects. Take some of those and allow yourself to delegate to either family or business associates. And some of the things they're showing me on your plate, they shouldn't even be on your plate. They don't even belong to you. And I'm not sure what that means. Hopefully that resonates for some of you. Some of these things that you have brought on yourself don't even belong on your plate. Okay? You're taking on other people's problems and difficulties. That's their plate. Sure, you can be there to support and love them and help every now and again. But remember, focus on yourself, they're sharing with me. Give yourself a little time and attention you need and deserve, all right? And when you start to work through this clutter, you're going to feel so much better. It's like they're showing me an individual in a room and there's clothes flying everywhere in their closet. There's just this renewed energy, and they're cleaning out their closet, right? And it's irrelevant, they want me to share with you, what size you are and how you're feeling right now. Okay, get rid of those clothes that just no longer serve you. They don't make you feel good. All right, and buy yourself a couple of things if you're able to. All right. When you start to take care of yourself and look out for yourself, okay, and this really brings like a boss mode that you've kind of lost. Okay, and it doesn't have to be anything drastic or extravagant. Just a few things. So you can remind yourself how important you are, okay? And you're really no good for others if you're not really looking out for yourself. And that's a fact. I mean, you can only run on that steam for so long, all right? Understand that new time is coming for you guys. And this is what, I love this card, okay? Ace of Pentacles. in this particular situation, this is depicting an individual who has worked so hard. You see their fingers are dirty, and they've got a new, renewed energy. Something new has come into their life. Perhaps it's just you've done something for yourself, and it's an inner peace that you now have that you didn't have before, wrapped around self-worth, wrapped around. They're also showing me an individual at their job, bossing up, realizing that they're incredible at what they do, and now they're showing this new and confident energy, and everybody's like, wow, look at them go. You just exude confidence that you haven't exuded and that you haven't shown in a very long time, right? Understand that none of this happens if you don't make those changes, okay? If you don't take the time to reflect and relax, all right? It's just kind of like the same humdrum keeps going. But this is some beautiful energy coming your way. And I want to leave you with this final message. This card popped up while I was doing my meditation and my shuffling earlier, before I started my readings. And they wanted me to share this with all 3 readings because it's a collective message for all of you. And there's a lot of self-doubt apparently creeping in for many of you, whether you're worthy, whether you don't feel like you're doing a great job at work, and so on. They want you to remember this. And it'll give you a good chuckle too. But it's so true. If cauliflower can somehow become a pizza, then you, my friend, can accomplish anything. Isn't that a fact? I hope you guys have a great July 4th, whether you're staying in, working, or having some times with family and friends. Please be safe, and we'll see you soon.